We told our chancellor, your transmitter, the other day, when she was out in the garden weeding and talking with us, that we wanted to talk to you about your fear. Well, we played a trick on her, because we are not going to simply talk about your fear. We are going to talk about your story. Or should we say, your story of fear, or your story that creates your fear. Because you see, it is your story. You know, that long, long time ago and far, far away piece of you that sets you up to be afraid. And by this we mean to be afraid of anything at all. You know, when you came sliding down out of the womb space, you were not afraid. You were thrilled and you were excited. And then you hit the wall, you see. That wall of the electromagnetic field of this world that you call Earth. And suddenly everything began to change. You went from being held and supported and being aware of what you are to amnesia, not knowing what type of environment you are in, and were, in the very strict sense of the words, a fish out of water. And so you continue to be. And so begins your story of fear. Yet, now you are grown up, you know, a big boy or a big girl, and supposedly you are not supposed to be afraid anymore. And then you find out that that is not true either. You find out that you are more afraid than ever, and your fears look bigger and bigger and much more important because you believe your own story. You believe that your story is actually true, you see. So, all of the pieces of your story create your identity, and that identity is what you know as you. Your identity, some of you call it your ego or your personality. It is very big, you know, and it has so many expectations and desires and hopes, and above all, judgments and opinions. So, if any of these attributes is not fulfilled, or you believe they are not going to be fulfilled, you begin to fear. You fear you will be without. You fear that you will not be wanted. You fear that you will be left out in the cold. And most of all, you fear that no one loves you. So you see, from these four beliefs, all other fears stem. Think about it. If you really knew that you are loved, that you would never be without, and that the world wants you, would you be afraid? Of course not. Because all of the reasons to be afraid would be taken away from you, you see. Your story would be changed, and your identity would as well. So, we are inviting you to put the cart before the horse, so to speak. Change your identity first, and then watch the fears disappear. That means that you do away with your story, you see. Oh, but then you say, who will I be without the story that I am living? You will be what you really are. Instead of being a character in a storybook, you will be an authentic being who knows that it is exactly what we are, an emanation from the eminence. So this means that every time you begin to feel something that is uncomfortable, that you ask where it comes from. And by this we mean that you go back in your mind, into your storybook, and ask who wrote that fear into your story. And when you find it, you rewrite the story so that it no longer reads that you are afraid. It reads that you are sustained. It reads that you are supported. And most of all, it reads that you are fulfilled. It really is that simple, you know. Maybe it is too simple, huh? So, we invite you to rewrite your story. And that makes us think, what kind of an author are you, anyway?